Scorpio, welcome back to Love from a Leo. My name is Tay, and this is your May 2019 tarot reading. Before we start, I want to let you know what crystals that I have here. So we have amethyst, rose quartz, clear quartz, and angelite. I was meditating with the Scorpio energy. Your card is here. And the message that I kept getting was work hard, it's going to pay off. Work hard is going to pay off. Use what you can, it's going to pay off. Work hard, work hard. So we're going to be working this month, okay, Scorpio? But first, let's see what the past energy, which you have been dealing with in the recent past, and then we'll go to the present and the future, okay? So let's start with the past for Scorpio. So the energy for your past, we have the Sun card. So I think you got what you wanted in a certain situation. For some of you, this could have involved a Leo or a child, something that makes you happy, something that you've been wanting, you were granted at this time, okay? Now, when we look into the details of this, we have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So maybe you were being distant and a little cold towards someone, a little less than warm and social in the past. Knave of Cups here. You were being cold or distant towards a situation that you wanted to trust, but maybe you couldn't trust that. And the reason you couldn't trust it is because things were revealed in this situation. So there was a situation where things were revealed about a relationship that you thought you could trust, a relationship that you were open to being in or whatever, but for some reason something was revealed that you did not like, something that was hidden, or you start to see it in a new light. And so then that's why you started to become distant towards this situation. So let's see what type of situation that this was involving. Ten of Swords. So this is something that you ended before. You could have ended the situation, but it's a situation that by looking at it, I feel like this is something that you had already ended. This is something that you had already left in the past. It's something that had let you down in many ways. It's like a situation where someone shows you their true colors, and you go back and you try to stay for a second time, or you try to work it out a second time or another chance, and you realize, okay, yeah, maybe I should have just trusted when they were being honest and they showed me their true colors to begin with. So yeah, let's see what was revealed about this situation. What was revealed? Okay, so someone was expressing, they were ready to show what they got. They were ready to show who they've become. And I think once they started feeling themselves, they could have become unfair in some type of way. Like they could have become more selfish. Like, okay, maybe you help someone get to a certain point, right? For example, you help someone get to a certain point in their life, and then as soon as they start seeing their worth, then they started acting funny with you. They started acting like, oh, well, I don't need you anymore, type of thing. And so then you're starting to be like, okay, well, I was here when you did need me, so what's the problem? What's going on? And maybe you didn't get any answers. Maybe the answers that you were getting were lackluster. You weren't really getting a real explanation for why things were happening. And so this made you cold. This made you feel like, oh no, this trusting thing, this being nice to people, it's not for me, because I always get something revealed to me, and it lets me know that, yeah, I need to end this situation. I need to end it. So that's what happened in your past. Let's just go ahead and get some let's go ahead and get some advice on the situation. If you have already moved past this, then this advice will be I guess just how to keep going afterwards. And if you have not moved past this advice, this card that comes out is going to be the advice that you need to be able to move past this effectively, okay? For Scorpio's past, what advice? Two of Swords. So this is not knowing what's to come in the future. This is feeling blindfolded. You may not even have emotions at this point. You may feel numb to the situation, but mentally you're still trying to figure out, okay, what's my next move? I think you've shut down emotionally when it comes to the situation and this person, which is a good thing, but it can be toxic if you don't nip it in the bud. So what you need to do is you need to take a leap of faith and move on to the next phase so that you don't get stuck regretting or having like a grudge towards this person in the situation, because that's going to only affect you and your energy, okay? You don't want to put all of your energy into hating something that isn't worth it, okay? So stop hating them and let's move on to something else. That is the advice, okay? Alrighty, so let's move on to your present energy, okay, Scorpio? What's happening right now for my Scorpios? Alrighty, so again, we have the Sun card. Super crazy. So this is the same type of energy that you had in the past. It could, of course, it could be dealing with a Leo, or it could be dealing with a child, or just something that brings you a lot of joy. And so in the past, it was unfortunate that this person or the situation brought you what you needed, which you had to leave it alone. That was what you needed. That was what it's like maybe you didn't know that's what you needed, but that's what you needed. So let's see if it plays out differently now. So we got the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Putting in a lot of effort and feeling like you're not getting enough back. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Having some issues with your domestic life, or maybe having some disagreements with something that should be long-term or is long-term in your life. You're starting to have like these disagreements or maybe even doubts about something. And then 2 of Pentacles. So not being able to prioritize, not able to make a decision on what's important. Maybe you're starting to have doubts or second guessing yourself on what is important to you now. I think when anyone has a transition emotionally and something is moved out of their life, it can put a lot of other things into perspective. It can open your eyes. You can have more clarity, because a lot of the times when you're dealing with emotions, it's not always clear, especially when you're not at your best and you're dealing with emotions. And, you know, being a water sign, I think naturally, yes, you are supposed to be able to deal with emotions very well. But if you're in a situation where you've been bamboozled and you feel like you've been done wrong, you can have a totally different view on emotions and you may not be seeing clearly. So from what I'm getting from this, it seems as though you're at a point where you're like, I put so much into this. I invested so much. What am I getting out of it? What does it all really mean? What is the long-term effects of this? What am I getting out of this? What are we putting a lot of effort into? What were we putting a lot of effort into for Scorpio? So you were putting a lot of effort into, I want to say, someone's self-esteem. Like you were trying to help someone's self-esteem. It could have been a Virgo. Or just someone who became like very sheltered, very antisocial because they needed help. They weren't confident in themselves, and so this is how you helped. You were like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna nip this in the bud. Like I said, I believe you helped someone, and then once they got on their feet, they didn't need you anymore for some reason. This is a person who did a lot of movement without thinking. So they didn't think things through, but they had a lot of things that they were doing at one time. And so I think in the process, you got trampled over, or you got stomped on in some way. So that was what you were investing so much time in, a person who needed your help, and you didn't really get much out of it. Okay, and now let's see, what exactly are you trying to prioritize? Why can't you make a decision? Okay, so 5 of Swords, the reason why you can't make a decision on your priorities, or the reason why it's taking so long, is because I feel that in this situation you feel betrayed, obviously, and I feel like you're let down, and you feel like, well, I don't want to be the loser in the situation. I want to be the winner. So in true Scorpio fashion, I think that you want to get even. You want to get even, but at the same time, I think you realize, I hope that you realize that that's not the best way to go. But it can be hard to, not be petty about the situation. Especially when you didn't do anything wrong and you feel like maybe that other person they're getting off of the charge without anything happening. That's what I feel like you feel like. So it's kind of like, you're like, no, they need to be disciplined in some way. So that's fine to feel that way, Scorpio, but just know you're not the person who has to do that. Karma will do that for you. So if you're a Scorpio who's really like trying to get this person, you're like, no, we're not leaving it on the table like that. We're going to fix this, and I'm going to be the person to do it. You can be that Scorpio by all means, but just be ready to cash in that karmic check when it comes in, okay? Because it will happen. Now, if you got it like that and you're not worried about it, go ahead and do it. But for the Scorpios who are trying to work on themselves, and the Scorpios who don't want to have to deal with the backlash of karma, I do feel like you need to just let bygones be bygones, honestly. And it doesn't mean that you are settling and taking all of the abuse that this person did to you, all the betrayal. But just know that when you leave it alone and you truly don't give a fuck about something, you can move on with a lighter heart and you can find so much more. There's more possibilities out there for you, okay? So keep that in mind. So let's give you a card of advice for this present energy, because I know that it's kind of tough for you right now. And I know you're really trying to keep it together and you're not trying to go down the wrong path. And I know it can be really hard. So especially depending on what they did to you. So what is the advice for, here we go. King of Cups, Cardinal Water. You need to master the feelings that are tied to your ego. So don't let your ego win, basically. You have to be mature. And this is the part where it sucks. I know it sucks, okay? You want to be petty. You want to get them back. You want to make sure that they know that you know what's up. You know what I'm saying? And that's all fine and dandy, but you don't have to prove it to them. As long as you know what's up, that's what matters. The way you prove it to them is by moving forward in a fashion that they can grasp and be like, oh, they're moving better without me, or they're living life, or maybe I shouldn't have done them like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to move in a mature way, and you have to master those emotions that are tied to your ego. That's what's going to be the biggest help, okay? So try to fix that ego. Whenever your ego starts getting the best of you and you want to rah with this person, or you want to get them back, master that. Challenge yourself, okay? Challenge yourself. It's really easy to give into your ego. It's really easy to want to clap back. It's really easy to do all of those things. But in this situation particularly, it's saying that you need to master and hone in, center yourself, and find a different way to be petty. Get your life back. Get yourself together. Look good. Feel good. And do it without caring what they think. That's the main ingredient. It's not about doing it because you want them to see. It's about doing it so whoever needs to see it, they will see it. You know what I'm saying? It's for you. Do it because you want to be that person. Do it because you want to be the person that another person looks at and is like, wow, they really got it together. Like, they have really bossed up. That's who you want to be, okay? So let's go into your future to see what's to come for my Scorpio. The energy for your future is the Ace of Pentacles. So if you take my advice, Scorpio, you're going to be feeling so much better, okay? Your money's going to be looking great. You're going to be on the right path spiritually. And I think it's going to be really easy to be determined to get what you want, okay? So on a earth level, this is very good. This is material success. This is, if you put a little bit of work in and you work hard at being your best self, you will see the rewards from that, okay? So remember when I was saying work hard, this is what it means, okay? So it doesn't always have to be about a job. Working hard can mean working on yourself, working on being a better you, essentially, okay? So, in the details of your future, we have the Hangman in reverse. So, make a decision. Moving towards something. You're either going to go towards something or you're going to go away from it. You're either going to start something new or you're going to stay in the old. What are you going to do? Make a decision on if you're going to still be naggy, if you're still going to need this person, if you're going to be emotionally immature, if you're going to not be intelligent when it comes to your emotion. Make the decision. Is that going to be you? Or are you going to be that water sign? And then lastly, or are you going to be this person who bosses up? Are you going to be this person who worries about your stability, your security, your abundance? Are you going to be this person who has control over yourself, who is stable? You're not reacting off of just pure emotion. You're thinking, you're clear. You're okay. Who are you going to be? It's up to you. You can either be a toxic water sign, which this will be you if you choose that, or you can boss up and you can be practical and you can think about the situation and realize you have way more to gain than you have to lose. Okay? So think about that and you make the decision. So that's what's coming up for you. You're going to have to make that decision for yourself. Very cut and dry. Let's get you a little bit of advice for the future. Winter, Princess of Swords. Your advice for the future. Realize that you have so much more coming towards you. You have to be the one to accept that. Now, the way that you accept it spiritually is by letting bygones be bygones. Working on what needs to happen. So focusing on what matters to you. And you choose this every day by putting your attention, putting your focus into things. So if you care about your future, focus on that. If you care about your finances, focus on that. If you care about this person who did you wrong, or you care about that situation, focus on that and see where it gets you. But it's going to be up to you, and you have to honestly make that decision for yourself, okay? All right, Scorpio, this was a lovely reading. This is really about bossing up and watching that ego, okay? So really make sure that you're paying attention to how things are going for yourself. I think that a lot of Scorpios are going to be seeing that they're improving so much. It is going to take a lot of work. I'm not going to lie, because this is about controlling yourself and your impulses and your ego. But it definitely can be done. And the beauty of it is it's all up to you. It's all up to you, okay? So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. You can leave a comment. You can subscribe to the channel. I would love for you to join the family so that you can be notified when things are uploaded for your sign and other things that I have coming up for you guys very, very soon. And also don't forget to hit that notification bell after you subscribe so that you can actually be notified, because YouTube does not always let you know, and YouTube is a little funny with that stuff. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you press the notification bell so that you're notified. Other than that, I am Love from a Leo. If I'm not your favorite Leo, one day I will be. And until next time, my beautiful, beautiful Scorpio, my strong Scorpio, I will see you in the next video. Bye.